I had no idea the British press was so bigoted.
This one's wife. Back in London, only by video. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Yes, she was on the slopes. Yes, she popped up at the restaurants. Yes, she was there being serenaded by Michael Bublé, and we all had to learn about it. Now, she's been out for lunch, but there's even more as this one's wife continues with her attempt to rehabilitate her image. Matt Strudwick and Dania Bazara, along with John Brady, yes, this is such monumental news it takes 3 journalists to report on it. The Mail tells us, this one's wife back on duty in London, by video link. Duchess pops up for surprise engagement to open new wing of animal charity in honour of her late friend. Just days after Prince Harry told friends he wanted to step back into royal roles. This one's wife appeared in London via video link to open a new wing of an animal charity named in honour of her late friend Ollie Just, with the announcement of her virtual visit made via her and Harry's glossy newsussex.com website. Now, pausing there. First of all, Ollie Just clearly doesn't mean that much to her because she couldn't be bothered to go and do it in person. Now, her supporters will immediately say, well, should she be expected to fly across the ocean for the purposes of unveiling a new wing in honour of her late friend? Well, if the friend meant so much to her, and the charity meant so much to her, why not appear in person after all? She flew across the ocean to go to the Dusseldorf Games, didn't she? And to attend them in The Hague, and that she then flew to Portugal, and she flew to Bridgewater Hall, or at least flew to the United Kingdom and then attended at Bridgewater Hall to give that boring speech whilst dressed all in red. And she jetted around the United States. She's quite happy to leave her children behind. So why no attendance in London? Well, it comes down to this. Her narcissism needs to get to the prime aims, and if it can do it through shortcuts, it will, irrespective of what that might signal. So if she can assert control through a video link rather than turning up in person, that's what she does. If she can draw fuel by turning up on a video link rather than doing so in person, that's what she does. If she can manage her facade by issuing platitudes in a video message rather than turning up in person, that is what she does. Furthermore, of course, she isn't going to turn up in person in a country that her narcissism still perceives as hostile to her, both in terms of populace, press, and royal family. Therefore, she undertakes this, which of course has to be announced. Why not just do it? Why not just appear on video link and say the things that she wanted to say in honour of her late friend? But of course, she can't. She has to publicise it. It has to appear on the newsussex.com website where she behaves as if she were royalty. After all, what link does she now have to that animal charity? Because she actually no longer had an involvement with it. Her patronage to Mayhew for dogs, cats and communities ended back in April 2022. At the time, a message from this one's wife was posted. She wrote, I was introduced to Mayhew by my dear friend, animal behaviourist Ollie Just. We shared, amongst many things, a commitment to animal welfare and a deep love of rescue dogs, facade management, false compassion. It was Ollie and his fiancée Rob who helped care for my rescue dog Guy when I had just moved to the UK and he was recovering from a debilitating accident. They loved him as though he was their own. So basically, she only was involved with them because they were doing something for her. It was nearly 4 years ago, as I was exploring possible organisations to volunteer with, that Ollie brought me to Mayhew. He knew that beyond their adoption and rescue programmes, their international work to keep animals safe, and their local work to find abandoned pets homes, that I would be drawn to their deep love of community, which transcended the animals themselves and extended to the people around them. He was right. I fell in love with Mayhew and soon became their royal patron. As my 3-year patronage to Mayhew came to a close earlier this year, I reflected on the work they have achieved in the hardest of times, during a global pandemic with minimal resources, safeguarding staff from their stations in Afghanistan, and still resolving to remain steadfast in their vital day-to-day work for animal and human welfare throughout London and across the globe. Every day there was another twist and turn, every week another update, which Ollie and I would connect about. What can we do? How can we do more? Look at the amazing work they continue to do. So, very good about talking about what other people can do. On January the 15th, 2022, my beloved friend Ollie tragically and very suddenly passed away. It has left me, and so many others, heartbroken and reflective, knowing that the legacy he leaves for our furry friends is beautifully simple. Just love them, especially those left behind or forgotten. In his memory, we will be creating the Ollie Just Wing at Mayhew to shelter the animals who may have a harder time finding their forever homes, because much like Ollie, they will never be forgotten, and then they will always be loved. Though my time as patron of Mayhew has come to a close, my unwavering support has not. I encourage each of you to support in whatever way you are able. The emotional support of a rescue animal is unparalleled, as you'll soon realise. It is not you who saves them, it is they who save you. To the Mayhew community, thank you for entrusting me as your patron. It has been an honour, as ever, this one's wife, the Duchess of Sussex. And that was back on the 6th of April 2022. And now, utilising the website, she announces what has been going on. Her video message for the charity, the Mail reports, comes just days after Harry reportedly told friends he wanted to step back into royal roles to support his father, King Charles III, while he undergoes treatment for cancer. It further reports that this one's wife had been patron of the Mayhew, said to be her favourite animal charity since 2019, and she stepped down from the role in 2022 after she and Harry had moved to California. In the video message, watched by Mr. Just's friends and family, this one's wife said, Our heartfelt thank you to the wonderful team at Mayhew who have worked tirelessly to bring this dream to life. It was so important to find a way to celebrate Ollie's memory in a manner that he would have loved. Mayhew is a beacon of hope for those in need and a shining example of what can be achieved when we work together. A statement on Sussex.com recounted the Duchess's bond with Mr. Just, saying they shared many things throughout their friendship, among which was a deep commitment to animal welfare and a love of rescue dogs. It added the Ollie Just Wing is a testament to his unwavering love and commitment to our furry friends and will improve the lives of countless animals, reminding us all of the power of compassion, connection and care. It then talks about the opening, which also had celebrities such as Strictly's Nigel Harman and actress Rula Lenska there. Thus, this one's wife pops up, and one wonders what she might have done in the meantime in relation to this particular charity. But she has to have it reported on, as always, at this facade management, so that she's seen to be caring, that she's seen to be there to be supportive, that she is there for the purposes of ensuring that that facade is managed and everybody hears about it. The fact is, we know that it's a facade because she's a narcissist, and we also know that this sweet and caring and compassion is just an act. After all, where is it with regard to her father? He's of no use anymore, therefore there's no need to exhibit any care or compassion towards him. Where's the care and compassion for Charles? Well, he's painted black, so there's no need to exhibit it. And this is demonstrative of the way that the facade functions for this one's wife. That you can see, in this instance, that she appears to care because she has cognitive empathy. But we know that she doesn't, because we have so many examples where she fails to. The behaviour towards Princess Charlotte, the allegations of bullying of staff, the failure to support her father, the isolation of her half-siblings, the dropping of childhood friends. All of these behaviours, the way that she has treated people, the way that staff have been dealt with, all demonstrate that this is an individual who doesn't have any emotional empathy and doesn't have any caring or compassion. Furthermore, this facade is naturally there just to make her look good. And she can do a simple video message which makes it look like she cares, but it's a very easy way for her to assert control over a number of people, draw fuel from the reactions, and manage that facade, if you will, on the cheap, which is a narcissist of her nature is always going to go down the lazy route. Ostensibly, on the face of it, this looks like a kind thing to do. Animal charity, pay testament to somebody who was purportedly a friend, be involved in sending a video message on the opening of the new wing that's dedicated to this man. Ticks lots of boxes in the old empathic grouping, doesn't it? But do people accept it? Well, Almost Gone Again asks, below the line, it does make you wonder why charities and organisations would want to be associated with her. Generally, she's disliked, and that negative image reflects on the organisations who ask for her patronage. It's said that any publicity is good publicity, but is that really true? Yes, it got some collar inches here, but I certainly wouldn't want to be involved with a charity which uses this one's wife as its mouthpiece. Responses to that observation are as follows. Very true, and I certainly won't donate to anything which uses Markle. Me neither. Nothing whatsoever to do with this conniving woman. Because the echo chamber of the right-wing press and its commentators is not real life, a supporter comes in. Thornbury 9563 reports, I get the distinct feeling that the Sussexes have realised that they've failed at everything stateside, really don't have anywhere else to go, and are now trying to weasel their way back into the royal family. They are potentially looking at losing those precious titles, and without them, they are finished. All these recent pseudo-royal appearances and faux patronages, media interviews with smiley expressions and nice comments about the king, they look like they're trying to sell themselves that they can behave and be trusted to become senior royals again. As usual, they come across as trying to muscle their way back in because they see that Charles is vulnerable. This article looks like this one's wife is testing the water to see if the UK will tolerate her doing further patronage royal-style visits. And my advice would be not to give either of the Sussexes any encouragement at all. The last thing anyone wants is them back in the UK. I totally agree with you, Thornbury. It's been obvious for a while that they are desperate to be back, but unfortunately you reap what you sow. Other observations? If you cannot care about a sweet and loving father, this is just so much humbug. Sean McNeil, please play a video of me because I can't be bothered to attend in person. KB Bucks, no one cares about this woman desperate for attention. So Fend is on the fence. Can't even FaceTime or run a live feed, let alone just turn up to show support. You open it basically with a TikTok message. Wow, you must really support that charity. The new badger, I cannot look at her face. It reminds me of some oily estate agent. Richard London, it's all going wrong for them, so she's trying to ease her way back into the United Kingdom. Good luck with that. Trinity 1, couldn't even be bothered to fly over to do it. The charity needs to find somebody personally willing to be proactive. Shearer, this charity deserves someone who actually lives in the UK and someone who can support it all year round and not just take the headlines. Criticism as usual, all challengeful of this one's wife, and once again, her narcissism demonstrated with regard to this facade management on the cheap. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.